What is going on, my good nerdy people? How are you doing? Like my man XR Coon said, I'm late, so it's time to just go ahead and hop up in here. I am your Normie Sensei, Master Cunch here with Normies to Nerds. Look, Loki took another leap. Loki went up a couple of levels with this episode. It was just crazy episode from Loki of what we got so far this week. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my just raw reaction and raw take tonight, and then make sure you come back tomorrow night where we're going to go into the training grounds and break everything down here. But we got a great show tonight coming up. Again, Loki, man, straight up 10s, just dropping dimes, falling in love with that show. But first things first, a couple of show notes. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 250 subs. We'll get there together, so make sure you drop a like and sub to the channel here. And also tonight, we're going to have a good show. Actually going to have one of our Normie students, one of our Marvel students, step into the dojo tonight and chat with us. Give his take, give his thoughts. He's going to come in the dojo tonight, chat with us. So that's coming in on the later half of the show. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it now. Actually, I look a little fuzzy. Let me fix something real quick. Hold on. The boy looks a little fuzzy. There we go. Now a little bit more crispy, right? I ain't that fuzzy, man. I don't got a lot of fuzz right now. But look, let's go ahead and get right into it, cause look, I'm just excited, hella excited to talk about this tonight. Coachella Coastal, what's going on, brother? How you doing? XR Coon, I already said what's up to you, man. So look, like I said, episode 2 of Loki, straight up 10. Straight up 10, no doubt about it. Like, you were on the fence before this episode, you're off that fence now. You're in on it. And like, here's the thing. I think a lot of people were confused about the first episode. And I think a lot of people are still confused about what's really going on in this episode, but they're buying in. They're like, oh snap, this is really getting crazy. So I want to just go ahead and give my takes. Again, this is just going to be reaction, going to be gushing. I have a slight theories here. But really, we're going to be saving the theories and the deep discussion for the training grounds tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. At after dark, so it's about 11. So, XR Coon says you still don't like Woman Loki. Yo, that's cool with you, bro. But Woman Loki hit for me. All right, let's see here. So, what I really want to get into is last week. If you don't remember, when I did my last stream, episode 2 preview. And I'm looking for my note, and I do not see the notes that I had on that. But for my preview for episode 2, I feel like I called a lot of things. Not to toot my own horn, but a lot of the stuff that I saw coming into the show, coming into the episode, happened, but I did not expect for it to be brought as dramatically as it did, if that makes sense. It makes sense. So like, we get to see Loki go out into the field, and yeah, while I did say it would be in the oil field, it was a different type of crime scene, and Loki went out there and really showed his personality. Loki got out there and he really admired the work and really started to show his worth. The moment that he got out there, he started to show his worth. Now, again, that was a little bit of BS because he was like lying to them the whole time. He was trying to like trap the TVA, but he's showing that he has a step up and like he's going to be fighting for his own agenda in the TVA. And we think we hear a bit of his own agenda here. I think we do. So again, a lot of this stuff happened, but I'm just enamored just about how hard they really brought this. I was chatting with Sheev in the Discord, and he didn't get to watch the episode yet, and he was like, yo, what are you thinking? He was like, what do you think about the episode? And I was like, man, the show writing really showed up in this episode because it's hella smart. Like, this series is hella smart. The way they really tie things in together, the way they really make you think about Nexus events, and the way they make you think about how things could branch off into different timelines, it's smart and adds up. It adds up and it makes sense. So that's one thing that really got me hype on the show is that this episode really showed how smart the writers are, how much time they really seem to take in the episode. So what I want to get into here is the multiverse. Is the multiverse already exploding? So spoiler warning, we're just gonna go right into it. Female Loki. Female Loki goes in there, takes the bombs, and explodes the multiverse from what we're thinking, right? Like she at least bombs the sacred timeline of what they're saying to open up the multiverse is what they're saying as a whole. But I ask myself, like, what's really going on? Because I think people are coming out of that scene there saying, oh snap, the multiverse is gonna be open. But instantly, we don't see like the multiverse. We see the multiverse splitting into different areas. And believe me, the screenshots that we're going to be going through tomorrow, where we're talking about Vormir being on the screen, talking about Titan being on the screen, and Ego all the way back in 1642. You're on Titan in 1985, and you're on Vormir in 2032. In 2032, that's 7 years. What would that be? 10 years after. So why would you want to go back to Vermeer? That's crazy, right? So a lot of things went down with that bombing on the sacred timeline. But where I think that we're getting on that is that it's going to be healable. Like Loki is being that female Loki at the same time. That wasn't her in play. I think she's just getting the attention of the TVA at this point. Like waking them up, shaking them up, and really going to put them into a panic to where it works into her advantage. So again, it's like we see that the TVA agents, they don't really seem to be like, oh shit, the agents don't. It looks like the agents are going back out there to reset things. Just like they had an infinite amount of reset charges. And it looks like they're going out into the world to reset things and fix what this mischievous Loki did at this one time. So this mischievous Loki could be making a play to get all of these agents out, to maybe open up her way to get to the timekeepers without having a lot of security in the way or what have you. Just anything like that to be the mischievous Loki that she is crazy. It's crazy. But look, here's the thing. I'm going to get into those theories a bit more tomorrow, but another thing that really got me off on the bat was the magic moves from female Loki. Like, we saw that off rip. Like, Loki has their own, like, mystical magic similar to what WandaVision can do. Straight out of Wanda's playbook. You're telling me Loki got that type of power? And now, look, I know it's not like a Wanda where it's like, she's like, oh, I'm pretty sure Wanda could do that. To be real. But I like the style of which that was executed. Like, you saw the actors become Loki. And that was dope. Hunter B-15. One of my favorite up and coming supporting actresses. I haven't seen her with I haven't seen her in like a star role yet, but as a supporting actress, she is amazing. And she killed that part when she became female Loki. Or became that version of Loki. So like the magic and what they're doing there is dope, and I think they're just gonna show that maybe Loki spends a good amount of time with female Loki. And Loki's gonna like figure out like what is going on here. How you actually access that magic. She could bring that out of Loki. So that could be huge. And I like the setup that they had there on that. Now, one thing that I really want to dig into a little bit here, else is from the show, is that the Mobius and Loki relationship, right? The Mobius and Loki relationship grew in this episode. Not only did you see Mobius start to trust Loki a bit more, but you see Mobius starting to trust Loki a bit more, but you also see a dynamic of who is really playing who. Like, I think that Owen Wilson is making the obvious play, like, you're just going to try to manipulate Loki by dangling out the timekeepers, right? Like, you're just going to manipulate him that way. But it's like, who is really hustling who here? Who is really getting over who when it comes to Mobius and Loki? Like, Loki is putting on this really good front. And I think if you're watching the show, you can really think that Loki is actually turning a corner. And because honestly, for me, when I get into it, I get a little bit like torn away. Like I forget sometimes. I'm thinking that Loki is actually doing the right thing or trying to be a good guy. And I forget, nah, it's Loki. So you gotta wonder who Loki is playing. Is Loki like, and who is playing who is getting the upper hand? I think they're working together because to each one of them, there are means to an ends. But at the end of the day, Loki, like he said, he has his plans to want to take over the TVA. But yeah, this episode really goes into their relationship because Also, too, like I'm wondering, Mobius, like he really seems to have an affinity for the people that they're killing in these timelines. Mobius really does seem to have an affinity for the people that they're killing. But what does that mean? Does that mean that Mobius is still going to be a good soldier and follow orders, or is he going? Could he be persuaded by Loki? All right, so that's one thing to put in the time pocket. Another thing is just look, the genius part of the show. Like I love the reveal of what they did to explain how the apocalypse event wouldn't impact the multiverse or wouldn't create variants. To me, it was explained very beautifully. Like they didn't just so you know how in Endgame we got the Sorcerer Supreme over there with the little timeline stream, right? That's like the only little presentation we got was her little holographic primetime thing. But nah, it's like primetime, her little holographic timeline thing. But nah, it's like they actually took the time to show an example of what Loki was trying to say. They showed us a good example. Pompeii. Like it was like to me it was a necessary step in a good way for them to show like this is what happens. You go here, nothing matters because all of these people are going to be dead. So that ends the variance. Now look, when Loki was explaining it with the salad, it took a lot to stick around with because it's like he's talking about knocking Hulk off the bridge, off the Rainbow Bridge, but Hulk needed to be alive. Hulk needed to be on that ship. So maybe he was just unaware that Hulk and them lived off of that, but lived after that. Maybe that's like a skip in his part, because yeah, Hulk definitely needed to be on that Rainbow Bridge so he could have lived and survived. But yeah, to me it's kind of a genius that they have going on with the show. Like they're being very, very, very smart, if you ask me. Being very, very smart. Now, other things that they're setting up. I want to talk about Kang implications. You know me. You know how I am about Kang. Me and Cap got that bet going on, and I'm thinking that I'm about to win this jump. Because Mobius is an analysis, and he went over there to talk to Justice Renslayer, who seems to be the all in all head on face of the TVA. Right? Like, she seems to be the president, if you will, and then you got your CEOs or whatever being the timekeepers, or your owners, if you will. She's maybe the CEO and the timekeepers are the owners. So, sorry guys, it's my phone and it's connected to the laptop. Cap says definitely not gonna win. But look, so what's going on here is that we all know Justice Renslayer is a lover of Kang the Conqueror, right? Justice the Renslayer has a history of being in love with Kang the Conqueror. Now, I don't believe anything is going on between Mobius and Justice Renslayer, but they played it up like there is, and I think the reason why is that Mobius, being in the TVA the whole time, wouldn't you be aware that you have another person that's going through time as an analyst? And Mobius is saying, and I think she's bullshitting by saying that it's an analyst. I think that she's talking about Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is probably wooed over Justice Renslayer, and is someone who is going through time, and someone who is using female Loki. Now, it could be that female Loki is Justice Renslayer's ringer. Or it could be that Justice Renslayer and Kang the Conqueror are using female Loki in the same sense. But to me, it's just like a perfect way to set up female Loki. To set up Kang the Conqueror here to be one lover of Justice Renslayer, and again, show that dynamic. Like, he's been coming around. He's been bearing gifts. You heard what he said. He said, my man's Mobius said, oh, where you get that glow from? Where you get that from? Oh, nah, these marks on the table were from the other dude. And that's, to me, like, that's a reference to Kang. And that's the thing, like, I don't think I'm off the bandwagon that Kang is already a timekeeper or has something to do with the TVA. I think Kang maybe has the same agenda as Loki, maybe to run the TVA, or Kang could want to burn the TVA down so that he can get his timeline thing going and actually become Kang the Conqueror. In the quantum realm is where his home is going to be, and leads into Quantum Mania. But to me, it's just like, that interaction was so deep, and I think if we see Kang the Conqueror in her office or something, or if something related to King the Conqueror happens in the office, that thing is going to be dope. But yeah, I think King the Conqueror is definitely going to be showing up in this show. And then last thing I want to touch on here, before I get my normie guest to come in the building tonight. Last thing I want to touch on here is the interactions with female Loki. Like, to me, that was the reveal was great. Like, it was a great reveal. Now, I'm a bit confused. I'm gonna be 100 with you. Just because female Loki takes over her body, does that mean that Loki has the strength of female Loki? Is that what that means? Because I didn't think Loki was supposed to get his ass beat like that by a human. So it has to be, right? Like, no matter how big that human is, he does not weigh 625 pounds like Loki does. Loki weighs 625 pounds according to his TVA script. And I might even be off. Or was it 625 or was it 6,225? One or the other. But yeah, it's like, I was a little off for him getting his ass beaten that way. But to me, the interactions they had, they were great. And it's like, all in all, I'm just hooked into the tone of the show. I'm hooked into the tone of the show and what's going on there. That's what's really got me hooked. And then also the multiversal implications that we have going on. I think we're flirting with it again. Like, I think that the TVA finds a way to fix what female Loki did there, because that might not have been detrimental. Now, can female Loki go and find a way to do that? Again, maybe that's a play to get to the Timekeepers, to free up Kang to get to the Timekeepers. Maybe that's the play. Maybe female Loki's play is not to get to the Timekeepers. Maybe she's doing this while to occupy the TVA agents to have Kang go to the Timekeepers. It's a complex situation, I feel like, going on. But to me, what I'm coming out of this episode is Loki. What is Loki really trying to do? On one end, we see, like, we think Loki's good, but then he goes to start talking to female Loki, and he goes for female Loki. So Loki says his plan is to take over the TVA Timekeepers and do all that, like, and to take over the TVA. Female Loki said her plan is not that, and I think she's saying that blowing up the TVA or just taking them down. But I'm wondering, like, where is Loki going with this? Is Loki actually going to be, how do I put this? Is Loki's main purpose to really help the TVA? Is that what his goal is? Because I think that he could be leaving with female Loki, and then it could be a part, like, one path is that he could leave with female Loki and then comes back with female Loki, and like there are, like, he's kind of doing everything for the TVA. Like, he is setting her up to turn her into the TVA. That could be one path that you're looking at. But I think the path that he could be on is that he's looking to maybe find a way to one-up her. Like, is that Loki's motive? To come in here and try to prove that he is a superior variant. They're throwing that term out there. They're going back and forth, looking to see which variant comes out on top. Again, Loki's are hella variants of Loki's. There are 1,130 variants of Loki's that they've dealt with. So we have to wonder who's going to come out on top here. Is that what Loki is going to be going for? Let me know. What do you think? What do you think in the chat? Is Loki going to be going for, I want to get this done with the TVA? Let me turn her in. So here's the thing. If he turns her in, he could show that he does have the upper hand. Like, maybe he fools her into thinking that he's on her team, and he fools her and gets her into the TVA. Another way could be is that he lets her do her mission, but then he takes over and benefits from it. It's just, what would his main path be there? What does he look to do? What does he look to do? All right, so before I get my mains in here, let me run through the chat, holler at my good folks in. I think we got some more folks trickling in here. And take a little dab of water before I get into the comments. I tell you, man, water be so good. All right, so XR Kun, what's going on, brother? Coachella Coastal, how y'all doing? XR Kun said, I was going to watch it again with my bro, but then he dipped on me. Oh, dang. My man Ash Hammer, the moderator. What's going on? What's going on? XR Kun, you just took a whole sabbatical from YouTube. You took a whole sabbatical. We'll talk about a wrench. We'll talk about a wrench, XR Kun. Scotty says, Loki is a god. I mean, he's no Scotty, but he's up there. That's facts. That's facts. Wait a minute, but Scotty damn sure ain't up there, though. Captain Pennsylvania, what's going on? Geeky Gambit, thanks for dropping in here, brother. How you doing, man? My man Vern Dennis, he's going to be coming on here in a second, and we're going to hear that normie perspective on this show. All right, so this might, buckle up. This might be a lengthy conversation, but this is what we're here for, is to turn normies into nerds. Who knows? This might kick off a section. I might look to bring normies up here every week who has questions, and we turn them into nerds. This could be the start of something epic. All right. Let's see. Ashton says, I mean, it makes sense Loki would want to go with the other Loki because she can give him the real answers he wants. The TVA is keeping him in the dark, but Lady Loki won't. I think that's right, too. He's going to find answers that he wants. He's going to have both sides, and then he's going to be able to make a decision on which path he's going to go. That's good, Ashton. Captain Pennsylvania says, I give the episode an 8. Just mentioning the multiverse had me going. I was like, where is this headed? Okay, I think 8 could be reasonable. Again, I give it like, the reason I give it a 10 is because it's just continuing the tone and continuing the wave that we were on in the last episode. That's the reason I give it a 10. Like, if I believe in momentum when I'm rating episodes. So especially a lot of shows, the second episode can drop off. The second episode, you can really fall a little bit flatter. But they brought the juice, Cap. They brought the juice this episode. Like, again, I predicted that we know female Loki would be female Loki. But I did not predict the whole bombing thing at the end of the episode. To me, that was like, that knocked it up. That gave it a 10. Because now, like, I can't wait to watch next week. Geeky Gambit says, yeah, I thought that that explanation was very smart for sure. Yeah, to me, the explanation was dope. And then, like I said, even going as far as to go out into Pompeii and really take the time and effort to show what that really means is like epic. Ashton says, I love this show so far. Me too, Ashton. Like, it's hitting. Let's be real. Look, at the end of every show, at the end of every movie, I'm going to do an updated MCU content list that includes the shows and the movie. This show might be in top 10, baby. Like, this show, if this show continues to build on the momentum that it goes into, we might be into our first top 10 category when we're talking Marvel TV shows. And that's exciting, man. That's exciting. Captain Pennsylvania says the timekeepers aren't real beings. I think that that's where this is going, but no mention of Kang. Not yet. Kang is look. We got 4 more episodes. Here's the thing. I'm starting to be on a little bit of like, okay, I can see it if Kang don't show up. If they go with female Loki going through this, that won't be. I can see that being real. I can see that being cool. But I need Kang to be brought into this because again, I think the TVA is in the quantum realm. So. Kang got to come in there someplace. We're going to be talking about Kang the Conqueror popping up in Quantum Mania. Like, come on. I got the vibe that the Judge Lady was lying about the Timekeepers. Do they even really exist? Or is the other wizard, is it a Wizard of Oz thing? I think they exist. I honestly think the Timekeepers exist. Yeah, I think they exist. Facts, but we won't see anything said about it till later. Nobody's going to mention that nobody has seen the Timekeepers. But she said, like, here's the thing. The whole reason why the girl's head was effed up, C20, the whole reason why she was, like, upset, because she was like, I gave them up. She was like, I gave up how to find the Timekeepers. So, like, I think the Timekeepers are a real thing. I think the Timekeepers are definitely a real thing. Kang, says Geeky Gambit. I got the vibe that the Judge Lady. Okay, Wait a minute. I jumped up over here. Geeky Gambit says, I mean, what if think about it. If Kang is involved with the TVA and the TVA is located inside the quantum realm, the show could end with an explosion of some sort at the TVA. Then Ant-Man goes investigating. That is dope, Geeky Gambit. That is a dope ass comment right there, bro. That's a dope ass comment. If Wayne was here, he would say Loki, Likey, and Wokey will make Kid Loki, aka I Cole. Okay, Loki. Cool. That was a typo. I tried to say I Cole, but it was a typo. Cool. You typed it backwards? Is that what you did, X Raccoon? Nikki, thanks for dropping in or passing by. Hopefully you can swing back around. Thanks for dropping in though. X Raccoon said, then there will be then the episode 3 will be an 11 or a 10.1. Nah, it can still be a 10. You can ride the perfect 10 all the way through. That's how I can be cool with it. All right, so look, let me go ahead. Look, what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna call my man's. If you hear the phone ring, don't worry. It's me on my end. I'm gonna call my man's here. My man's Vernon. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna get him in here in the phone lines. So let me know in the chat. What do you rate the episode? What are you rating the episode in the chat? Are you rating it? Let me know. What are you guys rating the episode? Is it scale of 1 to 10? Let me know what you guys think about it. All right, and then let me see if I can hear my man's Vernon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on?
All right, what's going on? Thanks for popping in here, bro. I got my man's Vernon Dennis, my A1 Day One from college.
My
We
guy.
we actually had a radio show together in college called the Urban Connect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Award-winning radio show.
Great times.
But yeah, so Vernon, my man's Vernon, he comes in the channel a bit.
Shout out all the normies out there,
Yeah, he's
Shout
a bit of a
out all the
normie.
normies.
He's seen his stuff.
In my definition of normie, for me, I seen everything on TV, everything that you can stream, all the movies, but I'm not tapped into the comics, So I qualify as a normie. Shout out to normies out there. I'm on my way to nerd.
Hey, shout out to normies. And look, that's what the channel is about, right? The channel is about taking normies and turning them into nerds. So look,
I'm here.
Hey, we here for it.
I got a few questions for you, man.
Do me a favor though, Vernon.
What's up?
Turn your camera off. Let me try to save some bandwidth.
Let me see.
All right,
got you.
All right, cool. Try to save some bandwidth because like somebody tried to tell me earlier, you ain't plugged into. I ain't plugged into the Wi-Fi right now. So look,
I feel it.
All right, so look. Let me ask you. Go ahead. First off, before you give me your questions, just give me your raw reaction to the show.
Man, it's dope. I like it, man. It's each episode's leaving you, scratching your head and on your seat for the next one, And shoot, I'm excited for episode 3 for real. I like it so far. From a production standpoint, I think it's real cool too.
Now look, let's now be real. Keep it 100 with me. After the first episode, we had this phone conversation. After the first episode, your take was what?
I was a little confused about the TVA. I'm still trying to fill it out. It's still gotta grow on me because I feel like they're trying to. From a production standpoint, I feel like they're trying to, bring in the TVA to set up for some more shows to come. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool and all, but it makes me wonder like, why did they wait to do it in Loki? Why they didn't do this before? And it makes me wonder, how long has the TVA been in existence? They mentioned, going back to Ragnarok and whatnot, all the way to Endgame. I mean, and shoot, how long has Mobius been working with them?
Right. So
it just leaves you scratching your head. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out, more about the TVA and the history of the TVA.
Yeah, cool. I got you. So look, like I said, and for folks who just jumping in, I got my man's Brandon on the line. He's a bit of normie when it comes to this stuff, but he's been keeping up. He's been watching the MCU content. So
I'm a
so
normie.
Vernon,
Shout out to normies.
drop me a couple questions from whatever episode. Drop me some questions in here, and maybe it'll help some folks out who be lurking and trying to catch some knowledge.
I got you. So for the one scene where Loki was looking at the case files and he came across the destruction of Asgard case file. I can you elaborate? Can you break that down for me a little more? Because he then, the next scene after that went into that long conversation with Mobius. You know what I'm saying? That was an
Yeah.
important convo because it led straight into action. I had to run that back a couple times, and I'm still a little.
So
I was
bet.
just trying to run through that case file specifically on, why it was so, you know, why those events transpired after he saw that.
So yeah. So here's the thing. The reason why he got his hands on that file. One, he only has access to two files, and I think the
Right.
two files that he has access to is his variant file and the
And that's what the lady gave him. Those
yeah,
two
that's what the
files.
lady gave him with those two
Yeah,
files. Maybe his variant file and maybe the file they have on the other variant.
but they wanted him to see those, right?
Well, no, that's the only thing he could go and look at. So like
Okay.
he was researching that. So when he got to Ragnarok, what that breaks it down to is that he was just looking through this. In my eyes, he was just looking through to see what was happening in Ragnarok. But one thing that stood out, and they showed it like three times, was it showed the variance detective, variance detectant. So I think
Mm-hmm.
every time like an apocalypse event happens, maybe the maybe he gets like the TVA goes out to these places and records what's going on. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking that he was looking at his like life file. So like the original Loki, the OG Loki, he was looking through that
Mm-hmm.
file and he saw
Mm-hmm.
Ragnarok and he's like, that's something that he's going to be looking at because Asgard is a very deep place to him. Something that he would build a connection with would be the entire planet of Asgard being blown away. So
Mm-hmm.
again, they just like it was planting the seed from looking at that and then just making it a dope connection as to how Asgard and Ragnarok still has a connection to this Loki to help him find a way to locate other Lokis. Like you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's able to use that tragic event to turn it into something to where it's like, okay, like this could be a place where she's going because there's no variant detected. Like that just triggered a thought in his head. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't anything to like say that she was there because when I was watching, I was like, "Oh snap! We're about to go back to Asgard." But no, what it was explaining and setting up was that every time there's about to be an apocalypse thing, the apocalypse is what resets the timeline and cuts things off. So it doesn't matter what you do in that moment. So if you're going to be hiding, that's how I would hide. Um, so to me, it was like a dope, and that could be how that female Loki came across the plan too, to hide that way
Go back to that. Go,
by
go
using.
go go back to that. That was one of my other questions in terms of is that the not the or easiest or is that the best way for a variant to hide is within an apocalypse?
That is really the only way for a variant to hide and not have any words. So I mean, she can go somewhere and hide, but she can't do anything to impact the timeline. But when it comes to like an event like where she was at, where she's hiding at, when you're looking at why
Mm-hmm.
am I blanking here? When you're looking at apocalypse events,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you can go and not have anything spread out. So that's where the best place you can go and do anything you need to do. You can bump into anybody you need to bump into, say anything you want to say. This is where you get to do pretty much anything and be able to stay there safe and be undetected by the TVA. That's why they can't find her next move because she's hiding. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
safe place to hide. Is right where you can't be detected.
Mm. I hear you. Okay. Okay. So me. I be coming with the crazy predictions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I be thinking things are gonna
Oh,
happen
oh,
just by
oh.
how they
First off,
lined up
fir-
and hey, look, I be accurate on a lot of them. You know what I'm
look, my
saying?
man's guest power broker. All right, he guessed
Yes, I
Salvor was
did.
power broker.
Yes, I did. I was
So
right on Power Broker, but I got a few predictions. I
look,
want to run by you. Give me your opinion on them.
all right,
If
and
I
look, I'm gonna
sound
be real
too
first.
crazy,
Look,
because I think I'm spot on with them.
these writers here, these writers they ain't going on no stuff like they was going on with with Captain America, with Falcon and Winter Soldier. They gonna
No.
come a little harder than that. All right, they ain't gonna serve it on a silver platter. So go ahead, go ahead. Bring me a
So
couple
so
predictions.
so off rip, I just think it was this might be a little stretch, but I don't know. The animated cartoon, right? The
Right.
southern with the southern accent,
Uh huh.
the training video,
Uh huh.
the cartoon pie or whatever. I think there's a real face behind that person.
Miss
Controlling
Minutes.
something. I really do. I really think there's a real face behind that.
That could be. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like
I
a
don't
Wizard of
think,
Oz thing.
especially in the office when they were talking, I was like, okay, like they're having a legit conversation. There's someone behind this.
But but recall when she said, "I am somewhat alive, but somewhat a recording."
Right?
So like, could it be that she's responding to Loki, but she's responding because the TVA knows his path or whatever? Like I think that was like kind of hitting. I don't want to get too deep into it because we could get lost in like the philosophy of it. But
Yeah.
like, when Loki was talking to Mobius and they were talking about being free and having free will, and he said, "So in the TVA, aren't we the only ones that are truly free?" Um, the thing about Miss Minutes, it was like she knew what Loki was about to do at every point. So that's what I'm feeling like. I'm not sure if Miss Minutes is like an alive, all like she said, she's both.
Uh,
But it's like, does Miss
Might
Minutes
be
kind
a
of have a
face
clue into
behind
the
a real
future?
face.
I don't know, but I could that all that to say, like I could see that being an actual possibility. Is that it actually is someone being Miss Minutes, or Miss Minutes is something like a Jarvis, something like a
Mm-hmm.
something like
Mm-hmm.
a Vision as far as just an intelligent AI. That could be very
Okay.
much the case too, and that would make sense too because you could record a voice. Someone said Gambit, Geeky Gambit says Miss Minutes is a Kang variant. Yo, that'd be wild. That'd be wild. All right, so
But
drop me some
I,
more.
it, you hit one of my other ones earlier when you said you was talking about Kane the Conqueror. I definitely think we're gonna see an appearance. And shoot, I'm going as far as saying, I'm still iffy about timekeepers and who the actual timekeepers are. This is a stretch, another stretch, but shoot. This is probably the biggest stretch, but what if what if Mobius is a timekeeper? What if
Look,
Mobius, Ravonna, and Kane the Conqueror are the timekeepers?
now look,
I don't know. The timekeepers are closer than they may appear, I think.
and look. That
Maybe
could
not to say those three, but they're closer than they
people
appear.
are trying to figure out what's going on with Mobius. Like I've seen theories as far as saying that he could be a variant
Mobius
of
is a
Kane the
timekeeper.
Conqueror.
I don't know.
People are saying he could be Kane the
Could be,
Conqueror himself.
yeah, yeah.
Some people are saying that he could be. I've heard the little timekeeper thing before too.
I'm going the timekeeper route.
Some people say
Kane
he
the
could be a
Conqueror is great.
Loki. Some are saying that he could be a
Oh,
Loki. Um,
mm-hmm.
all of these things, but
What
honestly,
you think?
I'm not. I'm on the bandwagon. While I agree, there's something deeper to him because the only people in the TVA that have names are him. Uh, what's the dude's name? Clay or what's his name? The guy from last episode. Somebody in the chat, help me out. What's my man with all the time stones names? A funny looking dude that's
Oh, my
gutted like
man's
a
the little
fish.
man's. He
Yeah,
has a name. Oh God.
he has a name, Casey. Him, Casey, and
Oh yeah, he
Renslayer.
did say his name the first episode. Yeah.
They are the only ones with names right now. So like, could it be something different? Look, that's three of them. That's three timekeepers. My thing is, I think Mobius is Mobius. I think Mobius is just. I think he's himself. That's just where I'm at. I think that he's himself, and he's just an interesting character as far as like where he lays, and like he's the one that brings in Loki, making this plan happen. He's either himself, or I'm with the fact that he could be maybe a Kang variant. That's another thing that I wouldn't say I believe, but I could see happening. But I'm on the bandwagon that the timekeepers are real people. Um,
Yeah.
I,
I'm
I'm on that
definitely on
bandwagon.
that. I'm definitely on that because in the conversation, it just seemed real shady that they were having in Mobius and Ravonna in the office. It was just
Mm-hmm.
mad shady.
Yeah, and I don't know if you were here for it, but I don't know if you know that Kang the Conqueror and Judge Renslayer they have a love history in the comics. Um, that's his boo in the comics. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, the vibes that I was getting. You said it was shady. I was getting the vibes that she was hiding somebody. Look, Mobius has been in the TVA his whole entire time, and I find it really hard that you wouldn't find that he wouldn't know of another analyst. You know what I mean? So like that's where I'm stuck on it. Is that she was kind of trying to hide somebody, and I think that one person that she would hide would be Kane the Conqueror. Kane the Conqueror has gone back through time, bought her knickknacks like a you can bring stuff back to your boo. You know what I mean? So like he's the one that's out there doing that. Um, so to me,
Yeah,
that
she said this is
conversation,
on you. She said this is on you. I can't help you or something like that.
yeah, she said. So I thinking like this conversation, like I'm thinking this conversation is setting up Kane, but also at the same time, like how I put it, I think that she could be working with Kane. So like maybe that's why she is so like against Loki being on the squad. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
that could be why she's so against Loki being on the squad because she could be going along with King and having this helping this stuff out, and she feels that this Loki could cause an issue to what Kang the Conqueror is doing. And then also too, she was kind of nonchalant when everything kind of broke apart. If you ask me, like
Mm-hmm.
she won't panic and like at the end scene when she got up, she just got her baton and walked out. Um, to me, it was like it was kind of a little role, maybe a little nod to that. But yeah, let me know what's some other questions, some other takes you got
Yeah. So
from the
so
show.
so 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 a couple points that I just like from just from a production standpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what they were doing with certain characters. You know that I just like. Um, so one thing I thought was interesting. What's the black woman's name that works for the TVA?
B-15.
B-15?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
B-15.
B-15. She came off so hard in the first episode, and then she just got put in her place. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like she just got knocked out cold by Lady Loki's powers, and I was like, damn. I said to myself, damn, she's not the badass who I thought she
Humble.
was.
I don't know. None of them are. Like that's real.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's what that female Loki showed in the
yeah.
opening scene. Like
I'm
we
like,
should.
man, they got me on that. I thought they was like OD hard, but nah, they could be, they could be controlled.
Yeah, like they could be definitely brought in. Now look, they caught
But
Loki
she
off
just
guard
seemed
the
like
first.
the leader of them.
They caught
That was.
Loki off guard the first time, but Loki got his redemption in episode 1 when he fought her over that collar. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
they got put in their place real quick. But the thing is, like, they showed how. That's what thing I liked about that scene too is that they showed how dangerous this female Loki is. And it's like it wasn't even just like she was winning by like fighting. She was winning by smarts because she used that girl. And when she saw that that girl cannot beat that one TVA character, she like
Mm-hmm.
cut off that whole interaction and came in there and stabbed that character. She also used that girl as like bait, and she went through and slitted the dude's neck through the back, slitted the dude's throat from the back. So it's like she's doing very smart shit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so um, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm liking the production, like again, the tone of it, the color of it, everything
One
is like on
one other
brand
thing
with
I
this.
was doing about it is, well, it's only 2 episodes in, but if it's if it's not being filmed at TVA headquarters, then they're traveling a timeline. And I really like that. There's a good balance between the two. Both are needed. That time in headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going on there relative to springing into action. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, they brought some action scenes to headquarters already. So I like the balance production wise of the settings of where things are taking place. Headquarters and then out traveling the timeline with it.
I feel you. Let me ask you, from episode 1, from your from your perspective, I from in the first episode got a lot of people hyped was just the idea of the multiverse coming apart and seeing that like what we know as secret wars here in the nerdy community, um, that could be coming forward. What from the first episode to the second episode, what got you on board? What like changed? Like what really hooked you in?
I think Loki's character is I just want to see more of it and how he'll become an asset to the TVA, and of course what he'll gain from it as well. I really want to see what he has planned on the low, and that's gonna stretch, all season, whatever, how many episodes.
We
But
got 6
you
episodes, so we got 4 more.
six.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, 6. So it's it's gonna move pretty quick then. So I still don't know what he's got planned, but I think it's something big. You know what I'm saying? You saw parts of it what he was trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't on board. But I still think he has something up his sleeves, and I'm just eager to see it from episode to episode.
That's what's
I
up.
think he's gonna finesse the TVA, and
I think so too. I think he's maybe even gonna finesse both of them, TVA and female Loki. Like I think that's a subplot that they added in there was proving who's gonna be the superior Loki, proving that. So I think he's really that's part of his goal is to try to prove that he is the superior Loki. So look,
one of the last things I had, I just like from it was the year 2050 in Rock's Cart, right, the store,
right,
and the dude, the store workers, Randy, his name tag. I thought it was a cool,
that was dope, wasn't it,
good,
bro?
accurate prediction of what the year 2050 would be like
but don't
with virtual or not virtual, but digital name
but ain't
tags.
that a little bit like
I think that's so cool.
Ain't that a little bit like 2006 though, when we had the name belts?
yeah, true that.
But nah, you're right. Even did you notice the billboard too?
That's so cool.
The billboard was
so
actually
accurate,
a digital.
probably.
The billboard screen, like
I didn't. Yeah, true that.
That billboard was like that. It was dope. But then again, notice too how many apocalypse events were going on around 2040 and 2050, like hurricanes, tsunamis, earthquakes.
Yeah, true that.
Like they were like throwing shade. He even said something about climate when I watched it on second. I watched it twice by now. He says Loki even said something when he was looking through those apocalypse stuff about climate. So I don't know if that's something. Look, Marvel should be trying to send out messages with all of these shows. So if that was like the little subtle little message that they've been trying to send out, that was a little clever. I like that kind of
I just
vibe.
I like how they did that. That's all I had.
All right, so look, last thing, you got any? Before I let you go, you got any last question about Loki? Anything? Any theory you want to ask about? Let me know.
Or
where you think it's going?
You hit on a few of my original questions earlier, but before I came on, but yeah, man, you cleared up a lot for me. I'm really excited for episode 3, and I think my predictions are gonna be accurate.
Hey, look, you called Power Broker. I'm gonna say that was attributed to Bad Writing.
Power Broker, man.
I'm gonna say that was attributed to bad writing. All right, look, they ain't supposed to be that obvious. It ain't supposed to be that obvious. So look,
I called Power Broker early.
We gonna give you that. We'll give you that, man. We'll give you that. Thanks for stopping by, though, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. Thanks a lot, man.
No doubt,
I love what you're doing.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. All right, that was my man's Vernon. Look, that was the first time we did that. Let me put a fist in the chat if you're here for the Normie conversations. Put a fist in the chat if you're here for it. That was the first time bringing the Normie to the dojo, just having some conversations, answering some questions up. Maybe it's something we bring back throughout the series. But yeah, I like getting in that perspective. And again, the main purpose of this channel is to turn normies into nerds. Let them ask them questions. Simple as some of them might be, even though he brought some really good, deep thinking questions. I like it. It makes you flex your brains, makes you flex your muscles. So let me get into some of these comments, then I'll give some parting things. Any other topics out there? Just want to look. I'm gonna be real. I didn't have time to look through the news that really broke out. I know there's been a lot of Star Wars news going out, but honestly, with this Marvel stuff ramping up, the passion is Marvel. Might get a little bit of Star Wars talk in here and there, but really, this Marvel stuff is gonna run it unless we get back to a point where we have breaks, and then maybe I slip in some Star Wars stuff. But let me know if you got some news you want to speculate about. Drop it in the comments. Let me find my spot and we'll get going here. Hey, all right. So Gambit says variant energy can't be detected in apocalyptic events. It's because it's gonna be detected in changes in the timeline. You can't change the outcome. So yeah, my man, look, that's what I love. You dropping in that knowledge in here for the normies with that answer. I appreciate it, bro. Asher says, I like Mobius. I don't want him to go away. Look, I don't want Mobius. Like, Mobius is good. But I don't think Mobius is here to stay, bro. I do not think. Oh, I mean, we are getting a second season. That's something that we can't forget. That we're supposed to be getting a second season of Loki. So maybe Mobius ain't going nowhere. He gonna get to eventually ride his jet ski somehow, some way. He will. Tim, what's going on, bro? Thanks for dropping in. Catch us on the replay for show. Y'all just like typing names in backwards. I see, huh? Wayne, what's going on, brother? He says Miss Minutes is the Jar Jar Binks of the MCU, in my opinion. That's hilarious. Ain't no Jar. It ain't as bad as that. Look, Madam, at the beginning, Miss Minutes had something menacing about her, something that made you a little bit scared of her. So I'm with Miss Minutes, bro. I like Miss Minutes a lot too, Ashton. My man Coop, Certified Gumbo, go check out my man's channel over there. What's going on? Thanks for dropping in here, bro. Wayne, Captain Pennsylvania says, I gotta go play some D&D. My nerd game is fire. I hear you, bro. Let's see. There was something about how the judge lady said the timekeepers were watching over this Loki variant super closely. That sounded like a lie. I don't think it sounded like a lie. I think it could. My thought I thought that whole conversation was setting up Kang. So when she's like, they're watching this closely, I'm thinking that they're watching it closely because they know that Kang is using this female Loki. That's where my head was at when they was like, they're watching it closely. That Kang is using this female Loki and they think it's an attack on them. That they think that Kang is trying to find out where they are. And that's what that girl gave up. She gave up where the TVA timekeepers are. She said, I gave up how to get to the timekeepers. She said it. So some people have seen the timekeepers. Some people know where they are. She gave it up. Ashton says, I'll go rewatch and see how I feel about it. But I just have a feeling that the 3 timekeepers aren't around anymore. Again, Ashton, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think that they're there because she gave up their location. Like, they have to be, right? They have to be, right, Ashton? Felicity, thanks for dropping up in here, girl. What's going on? Thanks for popping up in. Captain Pennsylvania said, I'll still be listening. But I bet if I say Scotty Summers, you won't be listening no more. I bet if I say Scotty Summers, you're going to pop back in here, man. Scotty Summers is ass. See how long it takes for Captain to say something. Ashton says, what was up with the lady's face when she woke up from possession? It seemed like she was enlightened to something. I don't know. I think she was just really trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I think she was more freaked out. And was like, look, we are in over our heads. I think that she was doubting Loki. I don't know. I feel like it was more of a, damn, I just really got my ass handed to me again. So she's probably getting knocked down. Did the timeline bombs create the what if timelines? Again, I don't necessarily have to think so. I don't think so, but it very well could. It very well could have created those what if timelines. But here's the thing. I think that there were a ton of bombs. There are really a lot of bombs. If I can have it ready for tomorrow night, again, a little bit of show notes. Always on that grind to 250 subs. If you're in here and you're not subbed, hit the sub button. We're on the grind to 250. Share it out. If you ain't doing nothing, look, you can't give me super chats, but if you want to super chat me, you can super chat me by sharing out the channel, sharing out the live stream right now on Twitter, whatever, and your Discords, wherever you can share. But when it comes to what you're saying about the timelines, I'm thinking that we're looking at a part to where these timelines can be healed. Because here's the thing. They're able to go out there and maybe clip. What she did was, I think she went back and erased the work that the TVA did when she bombed the sacred timelines. I think that what it meant is that she went back and erased some of the things that the TVA did. So I think they can just really just go back out there in enough time and reset everything. Again, the way they explained it at the beginning is that the TVA, their word was that it heals, right? That it heals the wounds that was caused by variants. So they get to go out there and stop these things from becoming Nexus events. Now, could some of these branches extend and become Nexus events, and that's what we see in the What If series? Maybe so, and maybe that's how we don't get absorbent amount of universes coming in because only a select few maybe become Nexus events. But I'm with you. Like I do think that she did bomb across the sacred timeline. For now, that like created a whole bunch of worlds. Again, like I said, we're gonna be breaking down those screens. But you saw Vormir. You saw Vormir was on there. Sakaar was on there. Um, Titan was on there. Ego was on there. So like all those places were on there. You got New York in the 1940s, and to me that was like could be a clue at Captain Britain, New York in 1940s. I was like, okay, that could be it right there. All that stuff. It's like, yeah, it could lead to what if. And then and another point too, even Ego. Ego could we could have a different line to where something happens with Ego that causes him to have a connection with Black Panther that we see in What If. So yeah, it could very well be those What If timelines, and those could be the ones that make it through. But I do think that look, we're in episode 2, so if they can fix this series, then like I'm a little confused of what Multiverse of Madness will be. If it's like really like the bombshell shit that's going on, that the multiverse is now like split wide open, then it's like where do we have to go with really the rest of the show? So in my mind and my idea, I'm thinking that we're ending. That ending is really going to be handled in the next episode, where like they're calming down. Like they're just going to really have a long night of work, going out there trying to clip off as many universes as they can. That's where my head is at there. But good question though. Hey Sarkun, if you can maybe go on a question like that, that's a good question. Sending the message of don't buy the beach houses so we can buy them. Exactly. I'm just messing with you, bro. Right, that's how I felt. I thought there was no way she'd be the power broker because it's too obvious. Look, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way that she should have been the power broker because you really just gonna put it out there like that. Like, that was really, really obvious, man. Really, really obvious to me. Boom goes to Dynamite. Let me turn up the music here. Handle this situation. We'll be right back. All right, and we back with it, baby. Damn, I'm probably out of focus. Okay, the focus stuck with it. We good. All right, so yeah. Um, where was I? Where was I? Good conversation. Good conversation with folks. All right. It's just we getting Lady Loki next season for sure. Says Felicity. I think that's a good play. Look, Lady Loki is already off to a good start to me. So we might, if we get Lady Loki next season, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The speculation of the Inquisitors being in the Obi-Wan show and then possibly having their own show. Wow. Really? Okay. I like that. I like for the Inquisitors to have their own show because I like getting into the idea of finding out more about the dark side, finding out more about the villains. I am one of those folks as well because the Jedi story is so one-sided that I want to hear more from what the dark side has to say. I want to hear more of their story, more of their background. So if we get some more of the Inquisitors and their mission there, that'd be dope. Now again, dark side commits genocide. That's the only downside. Like, I'm always here for things, but if you're committing genocide, then it's like, all right, bro. Let's see. I am a bit out of focus. I don't want to get out of my chair. Yeah, there's really supposed to be another season. She's the Wise. What's going on, brother? Thanks for popping up in here. Hey, it's all good, bro. Look, man, I know you got to do things over there at your channel, bro. But hey, it's all good, dog. Thanks for dropping up in here, bro. Thanks for dropping up in. Geeky Gambit says, as far as I know, they said that there's two. They've had ideas for second season, but no confirmation yet. I don't believe that it's happened yet. Yeah, I'm cool with these shows being a one-off season, though. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm cool with these shows being a one-off season. Hey, don't joke on Scotty. I gotta take up for Cap. Felicity, look. I was just trying to get Scotty back in the comments to see, mention my man's name to see if he popped back in there. She says, I wish I could have been here. It's all good, bro. Yo, just come back tomorrow after dark, man. We're gonna be going all up in the training grounds, going crazy, bro. Like, we thought last Thursday was fun. Thursday nights is really gonna be the fun nights. Let me be real. Like, Wednesdays, like, I'm giving my reaction, getting out here, getting in the algorithm, what have you. But Thursday nights, we put some respect on Anakin's name. Look, I'm gonna be real. Y'all know where I am on my Star Wars. So if I see a Star Wars quote, I ain't gonna be able to talk about it. I ain't gonna be able to like call it out like that, alright? But now that y'all say it, here's the thing. Here's where you know where I'm at though. Cause now that I'm seeing, now that I'm putting in the context of what X Raccoon saying is that you were my brother Anakin, then I know where we're talking about, right? And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But we're talking about the fight scene of Mustafar, right? The final fight scene before he says I got the high ground. That was that fight scene conversation, right? Ooh, look, I'm gonna be real. I don't know quotes like that. Look, I always keep it 100 when it comes to Star Wars. I do not know. I almost don't know shit about Star Wars. This is probably why I want to do Nerd Card Showdown, because my Star Wars like trivia shit, I've just really watched the content straight through, and I'm getting to the point. But but yeah, what's it saying? He says a Catholic church. Look, I'm just saying, like the Jedi do some shit. Like the Jedi Order is some shady shit. That's the only parallel that I'm drawing there. Look, I ain't saying like Catholic Church with the lightsabers and all that shit. I'm just saying they do some shady stuff to spread their ideology around the world. That's all I'm gonna say. But where was I? Talking about Barris and the Ahsoka show. Yeah, I think Barris would make the most sense in the Ahsoka show. To me, it's like, I would like to see her pop in, and two, I have an idea. Like, I don't know, like if it would add up. I don't know about the comic book stuff adding up, but to me, it's like, wouldn't it even be doper to add a complex in to where Varys was trained by Vader in the ways of the dark side, becoming an Inquisitor, and she became close to Vader. So like, you got Ahsoka, who already has beef against Varys for what she did. She might already feel a certain way, or she could maybe even not even had that much beef with Varys because she helped her see the truth about the Jedi Order. That could be a way that she takes it, but either way, I want them to go at it, and it just add more tension for them to have that. It just be more tension to add that dynamic to the relationship of both of them being trained by the great Anakin, then Vader Skywalker, then Anakin. Yeah. Gumbo says Certified Gumbo says, I hope there's a high ground reference in the Kenobi show. It has to be, right? Or does it? I don't know. And I would like for it to be. I think it'd be funny. But then again, would it be one of those instances where it's like too meta? It's like, you had to do it. But if they're gonna say "old brother" or "it's a trap" or something like that all the time, or "I got a funny feeling about this," then like they can do the high ground, right? They can do the high ground. Mike Porter, what's going on, brother? Thanks for popping up in here, bro. How you doing, my man? How you doing? How you doing? So yeah, just to wrap it up before we get out of here. Thanks for everybody's dropping in on the stream today. Just to wrap up my thoughts again on the episode 2, because look, we get right into the content nowadays. Like, I'm really big on trying to be good on replay, trying to get people to stick around on the stream. So yeah. Did you say funny? It's bad. You talking about me? Anyway, whatever you talking about, it's cool. Sometimes it's cool. I gotta keep up with what you're saying in the comments, cause like sometimes you start off over here, then I'm like, when I read your comment later, I get a little lost. I'm like, huh? Obi High Ground Kenobi. Hey, bro, that be his Facebook name. You know, everybody got that fake Facebook name. Obi High Ground Kenobi. Yeah, Ash Hammer says, look, Loki is the best MCU show so far, in my opinion. And look, let's get back on this Loki track. Y'all get me off into the uncomfortable territory. I don't want to start talking about Star Wars on script. But look, we're talking about Loki. And episode 2, again, I give Loki episode 2 a 10. Just building off of the momentum. Now, I'm going to be real. If the first episode of Loki was an 8 to me, I might have gave this episode a 9. But if you're building off of the momentum that you have and you keep things going, especially with the second episode, like, that's a 10 for a second episode. You kept it going. You keep me on the cliffhanger at the end. Like, that's where we're at. And like I said, honestly, we caught a lot of things in the dojo last night. Let me pull up my list. Then we called that Loki would be out in the field using his detective skills to analyze how the scene happened and what that Loki is doing. That's what we called. He said, I think Loki will get in some trouble and maybe try to escape this episode. He low-key tried to set up the TVA right, but I was off on that. Another one of my predictions was I think we'll see one or two things. Either we'll see that it is female Loki, and we'll see that the reset charges doing work. Well, we did see the reset charges going off, but I did not see it happening that way. That was ridiculous. And then also, we did get to see what the feature. We did get to see what they do. Felicity says y'all be great and too high. Hey, look, I'm gonna be real. It's better than any of these TV. Like, the speculation and the feelings that I have from Loki right now are higher than what I have from WandaVision. And WandaVision was great. I was giving WandaVision episodes like an 8 and a 9. Maybe I do be great too high, but maybe I'm just hyped. All right, Felicity. Maybe you great too low, Felicity. What's good with that? I'm playing, girl. I'm playing. Don't throw your wrench at me. Felicity gonna come around and boot me out the chat, if that's possible. Then the last prediction we had on there was coming out of the episode. Will the timekeeper still be a question mark? And also, the TVA will look more like the bad guys, and Mobius's position will be more secure. So that was like 2 for 4. I think we still have a lot of questions around Mobius's position, as well as the timekeepers. Still a lot of questions there. Thanks, Certified Gump. Thanks, Coop. Let me be hype. All right, can I just look? Here's the thing. I watch things on the first day, and I get real hype about it. I watch things on the first day and get real hype about it. And then when I rewatch it with my wife or with somebody else in the person right beside me, and I be hoping for them to be as hype as I am, and it's just not. It's like, okay, I can see where it's supposed to get an 8 or a 9. But look, it's just right up my alley, all right? It's right up my alley for it to be a 10. Again, just that mystery. I'm down with that mystery. What's going on, Green Bear? And look, that's what really made me love Lovecraft Country. Because of the mystery. didn't know what was happening. Eric Shaw, thanks for dropping in here. In Lovecraft Country, I had no idea of what was going on and what was about to happen. So that's what really made me love that show the way it did. With WandaVision, it was the same deal. Got a little bit of the scary elements in there as well, but it was like, yo, what the hell is going on at this point? But with Loki, it's the tone, it's the look, it's like everything is hitting for me. That's why it's a 10. Like I said, rating it based on too just how it's building on the momentum. You know what I mean? Like again, like I said, if the first episode dropped, if the first episode flopped a little bit, and this episode came out, I still would have thought it'd been good, but like I wouldn't be so gung ho to give it a 10 because I'm not riding that momentum that I rode in from the first episode. And also too, I'm very high for the Secret Wars and what's being said up there. So yeah, that's a long way to explain why I give it a 10. But again, I can see why people give it 8s, give it 9s. If you give it below an 8, then I'm just like thinking maybe it's just not for you, and I could maybe understand that. If you get that at this last episode below an 8, then maybe at Loki just ain't for you. Maybe this episode just won't for you. But the intelligence, that's another thing that's on my list. The intelligence of Loki, the intelligence that these writers are putting in here is like, you gotta give it up to them. You just gotta give it up to them. Like they're very smart and meticulous about how they want to explain these very deep and complex conversations that they're talking about. And like I did have to stop it and start over a few times, but it was dope. Certified Gumbo says Lovecraft Country was fire, and yeah, bruh, Lovecraft Country was straight up fire. Here's the thing, I want to watch it again, but I haven't because that thing's a bit scary, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, it got a little scary for me. It got a bit scary for me. And you know me, the black come out in me when it's like, I don't like watching scary stuff when we got a pregnant woman in the house for sure. Like I don't even like letting trailers or commercials come on while I got a pregnant woman in the house. I don't do it. Same thing happened last time she was pregnant. They tried to bring me out to I was working for the news down there in Norfolk, and we went out to a haunted house at night for a Halloween story. And it was like on a slave plantation. And a lot of these ghosts seem to be black people. Like you had your slave quarters at the top where somebody named Henry was living in the attic. You can see the handprints on the attic. We went up there and they was like, it's if you get lightheaded or whatever, that's normal. There's like it's just like the feel whatever. Like I went up there and got lightheaded as hell, had to come down. That caught me off. And then there was a nanny situation going on to where they said that the nanny haunts that room of the kid, and it was a black nanny. Do y'all think that I mentioned anything to those ghost hunters that my wife was pregnant? Hell nah, because I'm not having no spirits come home with me. And it's the same thing with watching scary shit. If I got a pregnant woman in the house, I ain't doing nothing to fuck with no spirits. And I don't want to sound like that, but if it is what it is, then I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna be smart about it. I'm gonna be smart about it. Oh man, y'all probably think I'm crazy now. But I'm gonna just keep it 100. Ain't no way in hell I was mentioning pregnant wife in a haunted house just in case that shit is real. So they follow me home. And it's saying I don't want nothing manifesting in my child. I'm fucking around a little. I'm about like 60% joking and 40% like low key serious. But nah, that's the reason why I ain't long story around why I haven't really rewatched Lovecraft Country yet. But it was so fire, bro. And Jonathan Majors is like really killed that series. He killed that, and I loved watching him in The Five Bloods. So if we get Kang the Conqueror in this show, man, this seeing him would be dope. But like, I think he could give a hell of a performance in the series. Mike Porter says, Normies to Nerds, do you know how I feel? I feel this way. The MCU roots. I feel you, bro. I feel you there. It really does. And like they're really digging up on their rules, right? Like Yeah, they really like bigging up on what they're doing, bro. Mike Porter, the boomer, the OG coming in here. Thanks for popping up in here. Wayne says, XR, I'd rather scrape resin off my own lungs and smoke it than get vaxxed. Damn. That's how you feel, bro? Dang. Here's the thing you gotta figure out, though. Who's gonna be the winners or the losers? I'm not gonna get into a whole vax conversation. But you gotta ask yourself, who's gonna win? If it came down to them creating something really in these vaccines, whether you think they created the virus or you think they're creating the accurate vaccines, who do you think they want to be around? Do you think that they would want the people who would say, no, I don't want to take vaccines. I want to disobey the government, disobey order. So let me take a vaccine. So let me not take a vaccine. Or do you think they're going to want the people who follow the advice of the government to take vaccines? And they'll be the ones that's going to be well off. You got to wonder. Now I'm playing with you, though. Do what you do. If you don't want to get vaxxed, look, that's straight, bro. Like, everybody got their reasons. Everybody got their damn reasons. And I am not judging at all, bro. Let's see. Asher says, Loki is smart as fuck. Loki is smart as hell. Thanks a lot for setting me up, Ashton. Loki is smart as hell. He was given 2 files and found the variant immediately. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, he really did his thing on that. Like, being smart and figuring out that way. And again, I love the way they tied in Ragnarok with that. Tied in Asgard as a, like, Asgard still meant a lot to Loki. And the fact that he felt so connected and appalled to go look through that record and to see what happened with Asgard. And then to be looking at it so closely that the variant displacement thing, like, triggered something into him. To be like, damn, this would be a place where I would go hide. That was dope. Wayne says, I like Scary. I need to check it out. Yeah, it's really good, bro. Now, it's a bit woke. So if you don't like woke, go, you know. But, it's a fire-ass show, bro. I give that show like a 9. Look, the finale was a little weird. I would love the finale was just a little weird. I say that. But I'll give it a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 for sure. Why are you complaining about an 8 out of 10? That's damn good. I ain't complaining. All right. But it's a 10. It's a 10. Dang, let me not sing that. Because last time I sang a song, I got a copyright. When I sang Gold Digger on here, I got hit with a copy. Hey, it's all good. Certified Gumbo, thanks for dropping in here, bro. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with your mans. I'll catch you on the next one, bro. Go check out Certified Gumbo's channel again. He's also doing great stuff on Loki and Star Wars. He is a Star Wars savant over there. So go check out that channel over there, Raku. Let's see here. Eric Shaw says Lovecraft Country was a great show. Wayne says, I'm getting into paranormal investigations on my channel soon. Hey, I hear you, bro. That just ain't my style. It's not my steez. Like, we was in there with all the technology and stuff in the rooms. It was very, just one for me, bro. And I've had like a couple of ghost experiences. Alleged ghost experiences. It just ain't. I can't wait to see the MCU project that Mike Porter does not like. Yeah, Mike. I can't wait to see that either. How terrible would it have to be? What would have to be in that movie for Mike Porter to not like it? Not like it. Like, seriously. Kang Gang strong, man. I am all on the Kang Gang. Geeky Gambit. Justin Simone, thanks for dropping up in here. Better late than never is for damn sure fact. Drop a like, smash. Oh, he said the like is smashed. Hey, I love it, man. Hey, Asher says, preach. You can force a stupid passport. I'm healthy and young and don't need it. It is what it is. Look, I'm saying, I don't give a damn what you do. I ain't here to judge. At all. Asher says, I'm my bad. I ain't mean to make you cuss. You didn't make me cuss. I made myself cuss when I read it that way. It's all good. Oh no, it's woke. Forget it. Haha, just kidding. I still check it. Like, it's not like. It's just set in a certain time period. All right. So, like, in a certain time period, they're not going out of their way to make a point. To me, where woke stuff comes problematic is when you're going out of the realms of the story to make a point. But it is based in a certain time period. So, and the main characters are black. So I mean, you watch it though. I still think it's a great show. I don't think that shit should get in the way of people watching content. But you know, people are people. Later, hear that. Oh, I got you. I got you. Let's see here. Ashton says that Asgard scene was even more impactful because the Loki variant doesn't know why it happened because he probably blamed himself because he was the one that put the crown in the eternal flame. That is fact. But again, he did have that with the permission of Thor, so I don't think it was that bad. But yeah, I don't think they saw that coming. Eric Shaw says to find woke. I'm gonna just go ahead and keep my mouth shut and not get into that topic. Appreciate it, Eric. I hope you're fine with that. I'm just not gonna get into it. S.R. Kuhn says I'm skipping the Eternals and the Marvels. Hey, well, come here to get filled in because there's gonna be a lot of shit popping off in there, bro. There's gonna be a lot of stuff popping off. I'm assuming the file would explain that Loki was the one that caused Ragnarok. Technically, he was. Now that is where you get deeper. Is that he was the one that caused Ragnarok, but Ragnarok would eventually come. It would eventually come. Odin wasn't gonna live forever. He was already old. There was a reason why Loki was able to do what he did. So it's gonna come, bro. It was gonna come regardless. But yeah, he would. The fact that it happened at the hands of Loki probably made him feel very terrible. I saw a ghost of a girl in my bedroom when I was a teen. I lived in the oldest house in my town on a farmland. The house was from the 1700s. Yeah, now I'm gonna be up all night, brother. Thank you. I'm gonna be up all night. Look, we're gonna get this camera situation figured out. The camera keeps overheating, and I thought I found another way to fix it. We are gonna get it figured out, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm just gonna read a couple more comments. Mike Porter says the MCU is my daddy. Reaper Man Review says if it's a timepiece that's set in a certain time area, I fully expect them to show that era in this honesty. Yeah, Wayne, so you will love it, bro. You love it, man. It's a pretty good show. Wayne, enjoy the show. It's pretty good, and it has a lot of scary stuff. It says Kendall is a ghost. I damn sure Wayne goes. Can you see me? Can you see me, or are we still in the beautiful train? So look, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Like always, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel on the road to 250 subs. I think we can get there. We made some good progress over the week this week. I think we can get there by the end of August, by September 1st. And if we don't, we don't. We're still going to keep grinding. We're still going to keep going here. So, as I always say, go watch something nerdy. Go watch something MCU. Go watch something DC. Go watch something Star Wars. Share with a friend. Turn them into normies and bring them here and turn them into nerds. Before we get out of here, let me know in the chat if you were here. What did you guys think about having the normie session on here? I had my man Vernon come on here. He was a bit of a normie. Got a bit of a normie's take. And he got to ask some questions as a normie. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you have any friends who are bits of normies that you think you could bring in here and let them talk and ask questions. If you have questions, if you will admit that you are a bit of a normie when it comes to this Loki stuff or the MCU stuff, and you have questions and want to come on here and ask them, then let me know. We'll make it happen. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about that. Maybe something we do every other week here on the channel. Just let me know. But either way, I hope you guys stay safe. Come back tomorrow night at 11:15. 11:15. Come back tomorrow night at 11:15. We're going to be going ham in the training grounds like we did last Thursday. Epic show, breaking down picture by picture of what certain scenes could mean to set up for the future. So let's go ahead and do that together. I am your man's Master Crunch here with Normies and Nerds. I hope you guys be safe, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Guess I gotta get some boss tonight. Nah, I'm gonna wait for it though. Gonna be a little bit extreme. It's for Ashley, man. You got Ashley got the wrist for listen, yeah, they got the wrench. If you try to come and throw a fit, you gonna have to get that kick. You know, we stinking too legit. When Loki drop that hit legit, we be running through the city. Timeline, we gon' ruin it. Don't wanna reset, but we gotta start the stream off. Now we gotta break you off, cause I'm giving you the rest up. Hey, now you wanna dip it like that hitter, dip this chicken. Now I'm really over here kicking. Now I'm about to go and miss it. Let's roll it up, break it down, enjoy it. Let's light it up, smoke it around and pass it up. The room is getting smoky up. Damn, turn up every day and night. Hanging like Jesus Christ. Dang, got my own spread right over. All right, I'm out. I'm done. You know, sometimes like some people don't know how to cut off a freestyle. I'm not one of those people. I will cut off a freestyle at 3 bars. I need to probably give my man a seat to make another beat. Yeah, that's what I probably do. I need to get him to make another beat so I can get another good 3 weeks. I think I've freestyled everything I've been doing. Look, what are you waiting for? Go home. You don't gotta go home. Go over to the Nerds. I think they're streaming over there tonight with the Danger Room. I might pop up over there just to earn some nerd coin. I don't join any live stream. I'm just rambling. But anytime I watch a show and I'm gonna do a live stream on it, I don't watch anything else. Like, I want my thoughts to be my own. I don't watch it. So, like, even after I watch, it's not even spoiled. I watch something else. I gotta make up for some nerd coin. You guys might catch me over there in Danger Room. Let me go ahead and get out of here. I've been enjoying talking too much. Love you guys. Peace out, man. Y'all still here? Y'all still here? You want to still be here? You can still be here. But I don't know how much I'm gonna be here. We can hang out. But I'm gonna let you know. I got this one is all. I'm gonna get my time. I ain't hard white. Hold up, 16 likes. Okay, we can deal with it. Okay, we can deal with 16. I was about to wild out. I don't know that. That's like a like. We can deal with it. I say that the screen that I come to, that's when I see my stats. You know what I mean? All right, but we out of here though. I'll holler at y'all.